All right, guys, it's Jahlon, and today we're doing a back to basics. We're going to do an Ashes 101 crash course on just the World of Verra. If you're new to Ashes of Creation, welcome to the game, welcome to the community. You have a lot of information to digest. If you've been gone for a while, just consider yourself new, because almost everything has changed. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you some other resources to try to get caught up. With that said, the very first thing we're going to look at is the overall world map. For the new players, this world map is the World of Verra. Verra is the name of the game world. As shown right here is 1,200 square kilometers of game space. That's broken down to about 750 square kilometers of water, including oceans, lakes, and rivers. That also leaves between 450 and 480 square kilometers of land. Now, one of the things we knew on the old map is we knew the location of the 4 starter camps. However, that's missing on the new map. What these were is these showed the 4 divine gates and the 8 starting camps. The divine gates are the portals back from Sanctus. During the calamity, most of the inhabitants of Verra escaped through the divine gates to Sanctus. That's where everybody found sanctuary. These are actually your starter zones. These 4 divine gates is where you're going to start when you load into Ashes on your first day. These are immediately adjoined by starter camps. There's a total of 8 starter camps, 1 for each subrace. Now, I don't want to scare anybody. Any race can start at any starter camp. So just because you're a Vec, that doesn't mean you can't start at the Nakua starting gate. You can absolutely do that. For the Tulnar players, as it is right now, the Tulnar players will be starting at these same divine gates and then branching off to the starter camps. It is possible that the Underrealm starting area will be put back in, but the pendulum has swung on that in recent years. Now, as I said, when you look at this overall map, you'll notice there's not a lot of details. We don't see a lot of the things we need, including those starter gates. I imagine that the starter camps and gates on Underrealm will have changed a little bit, because you'll see the Frostgrave Fells have rotated to the top of the continent, and some other changes have happened. But this is what the players see. What's happening underneath the game is what the server sees, and this image comes from Nodes 1, and it's always confused people. So what we're going to do is we're going to take everything off the map for a second. We're going to focus on those black dots. Those black dots are the nodes. Now, what a node is it's a center of civilization, and these come in 7 stages. They range from wilderness, which is nothing, and they go through expedition, encampment, village, town, city, and metropolis. Now, one confusing thing is a metropolis is called a stage 6 node because wilderness is 0. There's nothing there. Another thing is that each of those dots represents the node, whether or not it is present. So a stage 0 node with no presence is still considered a node. This video isn't on nodes, but I do want to tell you that player control of the nodes begins at the village level. If you want some more information, there's a video up there in the corner. Now, if we take this off and we go back to our null space, we also have this colored area, and this is a ZOI, or a zone of influence. That zone of influence represents the area of the world governed by the node. This will stay the same until stage 3. It isn't until the parent vassal system engages at stage 3 and every node up that the zone of influence will grow. This means that eventually a stage 6 node, a metropolis, will have a zone of influence that covers at least 13 nodes, and it may cover more, the buffer nodes, but we're not talking about those today. To show you the overall vassal node breakdown, you'd have 1/6 metropolis would have 2 5s. The 2 5s would each have 2 nodes, and then the vassal chains would go down. Now, all of that exists in a very dynamic, ever-changing set of boundaries. The zones of influence will push, pull, twist, turn, whatever they need to do to take over their appropriate percentage of the world. Verra also has castles. And these are 5 permanent points of interest, which are controlled by a guild leader. They're not governed by a guild leader. This guild leader actually becomes the regional monarch. And that regional monarch governs what's known as a castle region. The castle region is a static region of the world. It does not change. It does not grow. You can't conquer neighboring kingdoms. It represents roughly 20% of the world, However, we do not have an updated soundbite if this includes the oceans. There is another part of the world also called the Underrealm. Now, some people get confused on the Underrealm and they think it's the land of the dead. They think it's the underworld. This is not true. The Underrealm is additional map area that represents the underground areas. In the lore, the Underrealm is where the Talnar come from, but I'm not talking about lore today. The Underrealm is not one continuous space. It's not 1,200 square kilometers because there's not always Underrealm underneath the Overrealm. The Underrealm represents tunnels, pockets, corridors. It was previously 100 square kilometers on the old map. Now, we do not have an update on the Underrealm size. If the landmass got bigger with the new map update, did the Underrealm get bigger? The answer is probably yes, but don't be expecting there to be 450 to 480 square kilometers of Underrealm. Be looking for a much smaller number. Finally, we have this new area in the water. This is not an official map. This was made by my community as a teaching tool. We've got two types of oceans. We've got the coastal waters, and these coastal waters follow the flagging state. If you want to know more about the flagging states, there's a video up there. There's also a link in the description below. What's new to us is that we now have these international or open waters, and these are open PvP areas. These are actually the only open PvP zones in Verra. There are PvP themes, sieges, wars, enemy of the state, rolling caravans that open up PvP, but these are the only areas of the world where you're automatically flagged as a combatant. If you need to know more about that, there's a link in the description below, but this is the newest piece. This is the newest update. With that said, that is really all I have for today. I wanted to make sure that we lay the foundation, we lay the baselines of those terms so people understand the World of Verra. I found that in the past, my videos tend to go a little bit too much into detail. I don't have a good reference point that says you need to go watch this first. If you have a question, go ahead and leave it in the comments below and I answer every single question. If you want to swing by my Twitch show, I do stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can bring your question. I will do my best to get it answered. Or if you're looking for more immediate information, you can go to ashes101.com. That is my website. It's written like a textbook in a video lecture series. Each one of the pages ties into the wiki if you're looking for even more information after that. Until next time, guys, I'm going to be reworking all of the Ashes crash courses, try to get everything updated, higher quality of production, and all the newest information. You guys take care, and I will see you next time.